Howdy. Hi. Welcome to Extroverted Introvert Experience. This is my podcast. I'm your host, Maddi. Hello. So, this is going up on my regular YouTube channel. When my channel gets big enough, my podcast will be its own channel, and then I'll have my personal stuff on my personal channel, this one that you're watching this on. Sorry if you can hear the roosters and the airplanes and the kids. Hawaii is actually really loud. If I want to avoid that, I would have to record at like 10 o'clock at night. And I did that. This is like my second attempt at making this first podcast. And it's because, yes, the one I recorded was quiet. It was peaceful. But the lighting sucked. I felt like I sounded like I was boring. So I was like, people are going to click out of this video within the first 5 seconds of watching it. Also, another con to recording this during the day is it's hot. I'm sweating. If I turned my AC on right now, y'all wouldn't be able even to hear me at all. So we gotta pick and choose. So if you start seeing armpit sweat coming through my shirt, mind your business. But I guess this is a good point for me to say, fun fact, roosters crow all day. They don't just crow in the morning. Anyway, back on track. Yes, hello. Welcome to my Welcome to my podcast, Extroverted Introvert Experience. This podcast is just an intro. It's going to be shorter than all of the other ones. I plan on making my videos around 45 minutes to an hour long. However, this one might only be 30 minutes long. We'll see if I can talk that long. Because again, extroverted introvert. I do have my handy dandy notepad here. Get that Blue's Clues reference in there. I'm not liking the newer Blue's Clues. If y'all haven't seen the newer Blue's Clues, don't waste your time. It's okay. The older ones were better. But yeah, I have my little handy dandy desk here, my handy dandy notepad, and my beautiful handmade sign. Bougie with a budget. That's what I like to call it. And my comfy chair. I had to have a comfy chair. So I have this foldable, soft, fluffy chair. That squeaks a lot, but it gets the job done. Anyway, I keep getting off topic, but let's get back on topic of this podcast. It's an intro, introducing the podcast, introducing your host, me. Let's get started. I'm like 4 minutes in and I need to get started. All right. How did I get the name? It's a good name. For those that actually know me, like personally, say that the name makes sense for me and that it's actually a really good name. Extroverted Introvert Experience. Originally, it was only supposed to be called Extroverted Introvert. However, when I was making my little profile to be able to put this podcast onto Spotify, I was searching. And before y'all roast me, yes, I searched to make sure that no one else had this name. Nothing popped up. But when I typed in the little database, however you want to say it, it said that this name was already taken. So I looked into it. That podcast has not been in use since 2018. And it said technically I can use the name, but I don't want to risk it. Not risking it for the biscuit. So I just added this tiny word right here, experience. With the help of some friends, they helped me come up with this name. But yes, adjust this. Extroverted introvert. That is me. I'm an introvert. I'm shy. I'm reserved. Believe it or not, on screen I may not look shy and reserved, but I am. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Hold on, I might have to completely reboot. Oh, yes. So I love going out, okay? Don't get it twisted. I don't drink. 2024, I do not drink. I am completely sober. I don't really like the party scene, but I like going out with friends. And yeah, I love doing that. If there's someone at a gathering that I know, I will be a lot more comfortable than going by myself, and my social battery will last longer. My social battery is actually not that big. It is actually very small, and if I don't feel 100% on going somewhere, I'm not going. I will stay home. I will gladly stay home by myself. So that is the introvert. And the extrovert, I want to go out. I want to go have a good time, but sometimes your girl just can't. She's a stay at home girl for sure. Sorry if you can hear everything outside of me. I'm hoping you can't, because I'm hoping this mic is doing its job. But we shall see when I watch the recording. Yeah, so you guys are being recorded on like this camera, but my audio is being recorded on my computer. And then I'm going to like merge it together. I'm sweating. I'm uncomfortable. This is a big con. It's like I'm always sweating. Anyway, I promise other podcasts I will be tuned in. I just don't know why I'm so like distracted right now. Anyway, why did I make a podcast? And where did the idea come from? What's this podcast actually going to be like? Thank you for asking. Those are very great questions. I already forgot the ones I asked, but the ones on my paper. Where did the idea come from? I have been into podcasts for the past 2 years. I enjoy listening to them. They help me like create the mindset that I have, and like help me have insight on things I might not have experienced. They're very inspiring and sorry, I just hit the mic. Very inspiring and motivational, which by the way, that is not me. If you have come here to look for like inspiring words, that's not me. I'm just here to share my experience. So I wanted to make a podcast because I feel like being a girl who has gone the non-traditional route of life, meaning I didn't finish school, I didn't get married right away, I don't have kids, I'm traveling, I'm 4,000 miles away from my family, all by myself. I feel like a lot of people are like curious about that and maybe want to learn about that. So here I am making this podcast talking about it. Let me clear my throat. Count how many times I say that. Hold on. Water break. A little ASMR for you. This room gets so stuffy. So stuffy. Let this be your daily reminder to go get a drink of water. I know most of y'all are dehydrated. Yeah. Anyway, let me trace back. I have been watching Aware and Aggravated with Leo Skeppy. Great podcast. Very inspiring. Very motivational. A lot of wise words come from that man. I like that he's by himself and he doesn't have hosts with him, which helped me believe in myself that I can host a podcast by myself, talk to myself, and post it for people to see. But The structure of my podcast is not like his. It is not going to be like that. Yes, I will have planned topics to talk about, but they're not going to be the way he does them. My podcast is going to be structured like Cut the Camera podcast. The Sterniolo triplets had a podcast called Cut the Camera podcast. They would pick topics. They would talk about their experiences, their thoughts, opinions, stuff like that. And they would just have fun with it. And that is what I'm here to do. So shout out to them for, for the idea. This is not my idea. It's kind of like two podcasts that I like combined into one. So there you go. This is a leisure podcast. There's the correct term for it. Leisure, very laid back. But this is going to be the more like serious side of me. There it is with the again. Yeah. Being the introvert that I am, when I am by myself in my room, in a car, walking outside, anytime I am by myself, there's always something going on up here. There's always something going on in the noggin. I talk to myself a lot, whether that be out loud or in my head. I talk to myself a lot. So why not record it and post it and maybe bond with people, So that's exactly like where this podcast came from. I'm like, I already talked to myself. It should be pretty easy. Not to make it weird, okay? Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird just because I said that. You hear that airplane? I hope you can. There's about 30 airplanes a day that go here. And it's annoying. Yeah. All right. So I've introduced the podcast. Welcome. Let me do my little intro again. Howdy, welcome. Hold on. That's not how I want to do it. Howdy. Welcome to Extroverted Introvert Experience. I'm your host, Maddi. Today's topic, introductions. I just introduced the podcast, the name, everything about it. Woohoo. And now we're going to get on to introducing someone else, something else, me. Hi. A lot of you do not know me. Some of you do. Sorry if you can see piss sweat. I'm like dripping sweat. Anyway. Hi, I'm Maddi. Like I said, I've only been going by Maddi for the past 2 years though. I've mainly been a Madison girl, which is my real name. My real name is Madison, spelled Madison. However, my nickname, Maddi, is spelled Maddi, and it causes a lot of confusion. But no one's gonna tell me how I can and can't spell a nickname. I've tried. I remember when I was in elementary school and I was like, people are calling me Maddi. How do I want Maddi spelled? I went through all the spellings. I did Maddi, Maddi, Madie, 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 Maddy, Mad. No, I didn't do that one. Yeah, I did like every possible combination, and the only one I resonated with was Maddi. I was like, that's lovely. I want that. So I did. And I've strictly been going by Maddi for the past 2 years, and I love it. I love it. I feel like a new girl. I feel like people from high school say that I'm not what they expected or I'm different from when I was in high school. And I believe it's because I have an alter ego by going by Maddi. So, hello. This is the new me. Yeah. I am from Kansas. Yeehaw. And I don't live there at the moment. I live in Hawaii. Country girl turned island girl. Will she stay that way? Stay tuned to find out. But I moved here almost 5 months ago, and it has been great. It's been definitely a change of scenery, a new environment, new culture. This flashlight that I'm using as a light is like bugging out. All right, it's back. But I moved here because I'm always trying to grow personally, and being back in Kansas, I just felt stuck. I felt I wasn't going anywhere. I needed to change something to grow. So, what did I do? I moved 4,000 miles away to a new environment. It's definitely been nice. I've definitely grown. I've learned new culture, I've learned new experiences, learned new things that I can teach other people, hopefully someday. And that has been great. However, just like anywhere, there's pros and cons to everything. And I was very unhappy back in Kansas. But I'm happy here for the reasons I was unhappy back home. But I'm unhappy here for a whole new set of reasons. And I don't think anyone will ever be 100% happy of where they're at. And that is okay. As long as I'm, mostly happy. All right. You're going to hear me say, all right. That was a rooster. I hope you can hear it. If you can't hear it and I'm saying like, oh, that's an airplane, that's a rooster, and you can't hear it, that's a little embarrassing, girl. But yes. Another reason why I moved out here is because I'm not tied down to anything. I do not want to settle down in a career yet because I feel like I have my whole life to a career. So why not explore things while I still have the time? And I'm not tied down to a family. Like, I love my family. We're not that close like that, though. Well, me and my brothers and my mom, we're pretty close. But, like, my aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, stuff like that. Sorry. This is also going to be unedited, so everything, I'm not editing anything out. Yeah, I'm not tied down to a husband. I don't have kids. I just have a dog. My river biver girl. River biver. Fee-fi-fo-fibber. That's what I call her. She's a little cutie pie. She's a 9-year-old, almost 9, lab hound mix. I adopted her almost 5 years ago. I've been a dog mom for almost 5 years, and I love it. She does get annoying and on my nerves sometimes, but yeah. She was able to come with me, so after jumping through a ton of hoops, she was able to come with me. But yeah, not tied down, so I moved. And I don't regret moving. It has been very hard mentally moving out here. But it's also another thing that I'm like learning to deal with, and I think that's great. It's helping me become a better person each and every day. Leave it better than you found it. Life motto. I'm winded. I'm sitting down and I'm winded. Like, I'm also very tired. I just got off a shift. I have a full-time job because your girl needs money. As much as I would love to be a full-time content creator, it's not bringing in the money yet. So I need some income to help me be able to do that. So I just got off. How many hours is that? On Thursdays, today's a Thursday. I don't work a full like 8 hours. I worked 7 hours today. I lost my train of thought again. Hold on. Give me a second. Wait. That's not helping. Oh, yeah. I just came off, my full-time job, remaking this podcast video because my other one I was boring. So hopefully this one I'm not as boring. But I feel like my content in the last video was a little bit better, but it was just boring. So I was like, girl, don't post it. Don't post it and have people hate you within the first 5 seconds. But yes. Full-time here, like a full-time job here is not the same as back home. Back home, it's like, 36 hours a week is considered full-time. Here, it's only 20 hours. If you work 20 hours a week or more, you get full-time employee benefits. Crazy. But I don't think anyone can ever just work 20 hours here and be okay with living. It's really expensive here, which is a con. I knew it was expensive before I moved out here. That's the number one question people ask when I said, oh yeah, I'm moving to Hawaii. They'd be like, do you know how expensive it is out there? No, Jerry. I had no idea. Also, I don't know a Jerry, so sorry if your name is Jerry. Like, I put in thought before I moved here, okay? I didn't just be like, oh, Hawaii, here I come. No. I thought about it. I saved up for it. I had 3 jobs back home, and I worked those for 9 months, saving up all the money I could to move here. So your girl has strategy. She has thinking abilities. Sometimes. I am a blonde, so I do have my blonde moments. However, I can't say that much longer because my hair is naturally turning brunette. And it's sad. My mom was born like blonde and now she's a brunette. I think I inherited those traits. If I say something grammatically incorrect or use wrong words, if I say something wrong, I'm a science girl. English, grammar, which is part of English, reading, not my strong suit. So forgive me. Apologies in advance. But let's get back on track about this podcast. This podcast is going to be posted once a week. There's going to be 2 videos on my YouTube channel. One video is going to be a fun video. Might be a vlog. Might be I'm trying this. Might be a random fun video. Something to keep it light, And then the other video on my channel is going to be this podcast video. Different topics each week. I already have next week's topic picked out. It's going to be very fun. I'm so excited to talk about it. And yeah, it's going to be very fun. I'm so excited to see where this podcast goes. And I'm excited to see where my YouTube goes too. I have been working very hard since October 2023 is like when I started actually trying to grow my social media. Before that, it was just for fun. But October 2023, I went on medical leave and I was like, this is my chance to like try this. And I've been growing my TikTok, I've been growing my Instagram. I hit 5,000 followers. You guys are going to laugh at me, but I hit 5,000 followers on TikTok and I said, this is growing. Like, this is amazing. I'm actually growing. This is a lot bigger than I ever thought I'd be able to be. And so I was like, it now is my chance to start a YouTube, so I can start a YouTube and have 3 social media platforms and just grow them together. Right now, my most popular social media is TikTok. I'm hoping it will be YouTube because I rather do YouTube than TikTok. But I can't grow my TikTok yet, or my YouTube, without growing my TikTok bigger so that more people know about me. And then eventually word gets out, you know, you blow up, you become viral. There's a lot of thinking that goes into it, and I am all for it. I'm ready to like put in a lot of effort to try. I'm not saying I will succeed, but I really want to try this. And I look up to so many influencers. Some of my favorite people, Key and Lolly, I've been watching him since like 2013, 2014. Sam and Colby, who are also from Kansas. I've been watching them ever since they were on Vine. The newer ones I've been watching for about 2 years are the Sterniolo triplets. I love their content. It's very funny. I also love them as people. I did meet them in October, which also, again, sparked the idea of, you know, hey, let's get on social media. Let's become a content creator. They're very nice, by the way. Very, very nice. I had a, 10 out of 10 experience with them. If I might do a video on, like, concerts and stuff, and I went to one of their shows. That's how I met them. And I might just say my experience. Since I am by myself, there's really not a big possibility that I will have guests on the show. However, if I feel comfortable with someone being on my show, and if they're comfortable being on my show, like my best friend is coming to visit me in a couple of weeks. Will we make a podcast together? Maybe. I feel like we could talk about concerts together because I call her my concert buddy. We went to every single concert, like almost every single concert together. So there might be like occasional guests here and there. Nothing crazy. And you might see the studio change depending on if I'm going to have a guest or not. Also depending on where I'm living or not. Like if I'm living here in Hawaii, this is where it's going to be. If for some reason I'm not staying here, the scenery's going to change. But I'm not going to change. You know, your girl's going to be the same. But yes, this was all just supposed to be about the topic of me posting 2 times a week. So there's that. And I'm thinking of doing a regular fun video on Tuesdays and podcast videos on Fridays. That way it just gives me time in between to film for each, because my last YouTube video, I recorded that like a month before I actually posted it. One, because I was actually terrified to post it, because I do care what other people think, which I know I need to like get over, like, wah, wah. But yeah, that's something I just need to get over. So I was like, you know what, full send it. You're not going to grow if you don't post it, you know? And I'm not really posting it for a specific audience. I'm posting it for myself and learning a new skill as I go. But yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays, keep in check. I think that's about it. This podcast is going to be shorter. It's going to be like 30 to 40 minutes long. And we introduced the podcast. We introduced the name, where it came from, why am I doing it, what's it going to be like. we introduced me, my name. Oh my God. I can't believe I just like stopped there. A little bit about me, like where I live, how I got here. Um, Talked a little bit about the channel, the posting schedule. Oh, on the posting schedule, I'm gonna try and post these at noon Hawaii time, which is, I'm not good at like naming time zones. So like noon my time would be 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. in the Midwest, 6 p.m. in the East Coast. Don't ask me about anything else because I don't know. One thing about me, I am geographically and directionally challenged. Not my strong suit, I will admit. But yeah. So make sure you guys are tuning into those videos because they're going to be really fun. You're going to learn a lot about me. We're going to grow together, and it's going to be an exciting time for all of us. And the theme of my podcast, I tried to go with like a little retro groovy theme. Ignore this experience. I just had to add that at the last minute. But yeah, I love the retro groovy design. I did like this little bowling alley skating rink design. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Under all the and in between the words and stuff. And I have my little retro speaker over here. I love it. And when I keep saying if, but I need to start saying when I get big enough and I pop off, I do want to make merch that is like retro groovy themed, and it's gonna be sick. Y'all are gonna want a piece of it. I know it. But make sure on this video you're liking it, you're subscribing to me, and click that little bell, get some notifications in there so you know when I post so you don't miss anything. And while you're down there, go ahead and comment if you would like the podcast on Spotify as well as YouTube, or if you're just fine with it on YouTube. I'm more of if it's multiple people, I like watching it. If it's just one person talking, I like listening to it. But I know like some people like listening to podcasts as they do busy work. So let me know. Let me know down below if you want this on Spotify or not, because I already have it set up to where I can post it on Spotify, but I don't want to be wasting time if no one's going to want it on Spotify. You know what I mean? I'd rather be using that time for something else. But if you want it on Spotify, I will gladly be putting it on Spotify if you want me to. But yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, post a comment. Stay tuned for our exciting adventure together. But after I said all that, and I don't have anything else to say, I reckon that I end this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned a little bit about me. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. But this is me saying bye. I will see you guys next Friday on the next podcast. I'm so excited. It's going to be a great topic. Tune in. And here we go. Yeehaw! Meet me halfway, right at the corner. That is where I'm going away. For you, I've been looking now. Night and day. Bye.